So here we are in the golf cart. Figured I'd help some folks out. I decided to better use the 12 volt power converter so I can run off all the batteries. 6 batteries, 8 volts, 48 volts. So what I first did here to mount this, I got some standoffs that clear the converter or controller, whatever you want to call that. So I got it off the surface a little bit so that I can take it off later. Same thing with the fuse block. It's off. And I ran some bolts. I had to mount the what looks like a solenoid down here. So I did it off here, and that's the mounts for the fuse block there as well. The 4 there. And then that's going to be the forward reverse. Cleaned up all the wires, put new lugs on, made everything shiny. There's the shocks here, my spacer. So I ran the tail lights. So it's a 3-wire for the brake and running. So I ran 3 wires on both sides all the way up to the front. I got my fuse block here. Just ran everything on a separate fuse. I'll get to it up front. And then so your power feed coming off the converter. And then this will go back to the ultimate negative on the battery pack. I'm going to put all these wires in a loom. So I just used masking tape and wrote what the circuit was to keep track. This will be my volt indicator on the dashboard. And then I also have a spare wire going back. And here's the one that'll come off the 48 volt positive battery. The other thing you'll see is I got it tilted up. It's made it easy to get under with a creeper. I'll come up under here now. So the route I found was I'm going to follow this frame here up above, and then I'm going to put it all in this loom. And I came up here, and then I'll show you up front. I didn't want to go underneath the accelerator rod. It's not much space above it, very little space. So I'm just going to come under it. Shouldn't be a problem to be hanging down just a little. It'll be in the loom. As you can see, coming in and out. So I had to do a bunch of other work. So you can see over here, I put a bracket to help support the sheet metal because the welds were cracking on both sides. And I got all the battery boxes put in with rivets. So here's the countersinks here. So you can put either the diamond plate or the rubber back in its place here. So here's a visual of the original panel here. I bought a color coated instead of just the red, so I can see go orange and red, and then ran it vertically. There's some that actually the writing is set up for vertical. This is the 4-gang switch pack. It fits just inside here. This had a bunch of nonsense cut into here, and it was really tacky looking. So I got a new switch, and then I went ahead and I'm going to wire it up for a 12 volt receptacle. And inside this particular one, there's a little LED so you can see it where the socket is with the cover off. And over here, so here's where it's coming up down here. I'm going to put all this in a loom and then have it come up here. So this area in here is going to be like a wire box. I'm going to have to get a terminal strip to put all my grounds together, because the ground on here is only for the lights. So this is pre-wired to have the indicator light and then the always on light. So these reds here are just for the, it's just for the lights. I suppose the top one will come on when you turn it on, and that little one down there stays on all the time. So I'm going to have headlights, parking lights, reverse light, and like a interior courtesy light. And got the horn tucked in here, make kind of a little bracket for it so I can have it in there with the original wire that comes with the horn. And then I put some heat shrink on the back and then wrapped it up with some tape because that's just kind of crazy looking. And I thought about doing a you can get one of these with a horn symbol on it. It's a momentary. But I decided to go with a foot switch since I had to pay for it anyway. So here's all the wires. Each one's got the same little label. This one's going to be for a radio that's mounted up in the overhead. And I'm going to probably put like a courtesy light to do a reflection light. And then if I want to do lights on the top, I'll have a place up there already. So I carefully mapped out the old switch, got all the new wires on there, cleaned them up, new lugs and all that whatnot. Here's the new volt indicator. It's got smaller stabs on there. I may have to replace these, but they are sticking. While everything's off, I'm making it all right. Like the new boots, get the right ones. Those aren't the right ones, so they were very painful to get on. New shocks. Got it all cleaned up top. Went in here and sealed up all the corners with caulking and then spray painted over it so the battery acid doesn't get underneath. So these are all sealed up now. This one's a little tilted, so I did some drain holes in here just in case to get some standing goo, crystals, salts, acid, all that other stuff. And then once again the mounting area. I had to be careful here where the fiberglass body is. So with the body off, I had to anticipate where the body's going to be to match everything up. So this looked like the only real place to put them. I was originally wanting to put the fuse blocks up here to save a bunch of wiring, but it won't fit in here. Once all this is in here, it was just going to get too crazy. And getting to it would have meant taking this off every time. So back here, you at least have access to them. The battery's going to be kind of high, but there should be a little clear zone here to put your hand in and get to the fuses if you ever need to replace one. And I have a spare. So I've got the power feed to the switch bank, the brake lights, the 12 volt socket, the radio, and one other I can't remember offhand. So that all fit on that tiny little block up there. I hope that helped. See ya.